I'm ready to do it, I can't be afraid now. Put me on the stage now, I'm ready to rage now. I feel like an animal stuck in a cage and I'm ready to break out. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. This time, like the last time, you better get ready to race to the top. I'm ready to do this, show you what the truth is. I step on the field, it's time to get real, I'm feeling so ruthless. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. Lower the lights down, hand over my crown, hand over my heart. I do this for my town, I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. Yeah, so what are you afraid of? Those feelings are made of. Get in the game, your moment of fame, show them what you made of. It's time that we stand up, it's time that we man up. For anyone asking who is the best, we putting our hands up. My time, nothing can keep me from reaching the top. This time, like the last time, I'm moving so fast, I'm ready to ride. I'm ready to throw down, it's time for the showdown. I'm ready to rise, don't be surprised, I'll take on the world now. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. Lower the lights down, hand over my crown, hand over my heart. I do this for my town, I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. My town, my crown, we know what it takes to be reaching the top. We're reaching the top, we're reaching the top. We know what it takes to be reaching the top. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. My town, my crown, we know what it takes to be reaching the top. We're reaching the top, we're reaching the top. We know what it takes to be reaching the top. Lower the lights down, hand over my crown, hand over my heart. I do this for my town, I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. Turning the track up, I'm never going back down. Hand over my heart, I do this for my town, I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop.
This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome to the iRacing Esports Network and Apex Racing TV for the BSR MX5 Pro Series, Round 8 from Circuit of the Americas. I am Chaz Draycott. Alongside me, commentating and on the cameras tonight is Mr. Alex Simpson. And Alex, it's a bit of an unorthodox track to see these MX5s racing at, but as we've seen before with this series, that's not always a reason to count out an exciting evening of racing.
No, I think actually it's some of the more unusual circuits that we go to that tend to be the best. So, yeah, I think this could be a very interesting night's worth of racing here.
Certainly should be, and of course we have the very fabled word amongst these MX5s, slipstream, to think about. It is a long old straight at Circuit of the Americas. We do have what is called the West Circuit this evening. As you can see on the map there, they've got the usual straight, which, to be fair, Alex, the start-finish line is very early down there, so a long run to turn one.
Yeah, I mean, of course, this isn't the longest straight that we normally see at COTA, so yeah, just this main straight. But I think it's going to be plenty long enough for, like you said, for us to use the word slipstream a fair few times, and going to be lots of overtaking going into turn one. Of course, tricky corner, especially if you're on a single screen monitor sort of setup, because very difficult to spot the apex. The line really sort of takes you way beyond that, and you can't see it in your peripherals at all. So, yeah, those that have got triple screens or maybe Oculus or other VR headset, of course, have got themselves a bit of an advantage in turns like that. But yeah, this little short circuit, this little West circuit, it's quite a lot of fun, actually. I've raced it here in the Legends of all things, actually, which was a hell of a crack.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can imagine that was quite good fun. I am one of those sort of measly people that runs a single monitor setup, and I can vouch that when doing the World GT Championship around here, turn one was a nightmare. You can't even see the apex anyway, like, never mind even seeing it sort of just off the side of your screen. You can't see it at all. And because you're coming up to it, and as you can see from that shot there, that it is a blind dip down the hill, there's just no way. You've just got to know where it is, essentially, and just have really good judgment. Of course, you can't clip the curb on the inside too hard because that pushes you out wide and you're on the AstroTurf, and that could be a nightmare coming back on. Especially in the MX5, it can be easy to lose the car. And as we said before, Alex, even though this isn't the most powerful car on the surface, it is easy to lose the rear end when you're really pushing it.
Yeah, it's like any car, really. I think, when you're at the limit, they can easily sort of step out on you or whatever, So, and throw a curb in there or something like that's just going to mix it up a little bit more. Well, it's definitely going to have a bit of an impact.
Yeah, certainly. And we're just looking at qualifying now. It's a Swift Cooper Esports front row once again at the moment, with Jason Cooper in the number one machine alongside Alex Cherney. You can see the timing tower on the left there. And then it's Excite and SimLab all the way down to 10th place, where there's another Swift Cooper Esports car, Kip Stevens, and then it's more SimLab cars. So it just sort of cements the domination of these three teams in this championship, Alex. They've just been the absolute driving force of it all, haven't they?
They have, no doubt. Cooper with an absolute phenomenal qualifying time there, putting himself nearly 0.4 of a second ahead of his teammate for pole. That's a heck of a lap. But when you look at the intervals between the rest, and I'll just assist with that as well, it's extremely close in between there as well. Yeah. So that is some absolutely storming lap from Cooper. So he must be loving this place right now.
Yeah, he's got it hooked up, hasn't he? Obviously, you never know whether that was down to teammates helping with a bit of slipstream here and there, but it's not the longest straight, like you said earlier. It's only really the first straight that you'd get any help from, because around the S's and so on, you wouldn't want to be in the dirty air of a car ahead, because it's very dependent around there, really, that you get a good turn in. So if you are in the dirty air of the car in front, you can easily run wide. And as I've been learning in the MX5 this week, slipstream is really strong in these things. I'd never really witnessed it that much, but some of the official series, and I think the iRacing Production Car Cup has been at Pocono. So as soon as you get off the actual infield circuit and get onto the oval, the actual advantage, you need to be over a second and a half ahead of anyone before you sort of see any sort of equal pace by the time you get to the end of the straight. It's absolutely massive, the slipstream on it, but it makes the racing all that much better, I suppose.
Yeah, I definitely feel like we're going to have some absolute cracking racing today. Right, drivers are just about finishing up, I think, with queue. We've got just a few runners out there at the moment. Bringing you the qualifying times in just a second. Yeah, you can just tell everybody abandoning laps or pulling to the side with the little red indicator. Just for those that don't know as well, that just indicates that the driver is off circuit at the moment. So if I just go to the blimp, and there you could see Cherney was indeed just off on the inside. So yeah, Jamie Ayres also doing that. Nothing uncommon there, Mr. Ayres. Oh. But Steve Hefford with better qualifying, 6th place so far. I mean, it's still provisional, nothing's official at this point. Still a few drivers to come, but we haven't seen Hefford up at the front for a little while now. So let's hope for a better meeting from Hefford, because I don't think the season's gone exactly how it wanted it to start. That's for sure.
Yeah,
and,
certainly.
A lot of starts from the back of the grid and things like that, and a lot of penalties. So yeah, it's been a tough whole season for him.
Yeah, it has, and we see him getting caught up in quite a lot of incidents, and they're not always his fault. A lot of the time, he's trying to sort of fight through from the rear of the field when, like you say, he's not been taking part in qualifying. And when there is such a pace difference, I mean, Steve's a really quick driver, but when you're coming through some of the AM drivers further down who aren't quite as quick, then it's easy to sort of overdo it a bit sometimes, or catch people out and cause an incident. So yeah, hopefully it works out for him tonight. Here is the grid then. Jason Cooper and his teammate Alex Cherney lock out the front rows for Swift Cooper Esports. Jack Ashton is third on the grid for Excite Racing, alongside Jamie Ayres for SimLab. Then it's Ashley Beard and Steve Hefford, as we just mentioned there. Then it's Brian Holmes and Adam Delmont, teammates for Excite iRacing. Then it's Pete Van Gool and Kip Stevens, meaning that the whole top 10 is Excite, SimLab and Swift Cooper. Then it continues as well with Dave Hampson and Nick McCarron, teammates on the 6th row of the grid, 11th and 12th. Then it's Martin Plowman in the number 86 machine in 13th, with Craig Cameron top of the AM drivers. Great stuff from Craig there for Northern Lights Racing. Then it's James McRitchie, Cesare Rizzo, Max Wright, Michael Wortman is the third AM driver, with Jeroen Ursum 19th, and Stuart Dick is 20th in the number 61 car. They're then followed by Andy Maxwell, Carl Hardy, Liam Silkstone, which is quite an ironic name in itself, Lorne Murray 24th, Stephen Cooley 25th, and Billy Rose is 26th. Mick Barry is 27th, with Alex Perkis for Northern Lights 28th. Good to see Northern Lights getting more of a representation in the championship. Another new name to me there, Dale Benison 29th, Tyler Lugo Vickery 30th. And then these are the drivers, I believe, that did not qualify. It's Luke Cooper, Adam McNally, Joe McDonald, Ralph Cullen, Rob Graham, Alex Rivette, Scott Malcolm, Craig Jones, David Ayres, Josh Rayfield, Anthony Ainsworth, who is now driving for Fury Simsport as opposed to Year 1 Racing. And rounding at the back of the grid is Anthony Ainsworth and Mikey Keat for Result Clothing. You can just see the cars getting ready on the grid. Now, nicely spaced on this grid, Alex. It's because it's a Grand Prix circuit, some of the grid spacing is a bit bigger, so maybe people need a better run down to turn one or a good launch off the line to get anything done.
Here we go then.
Lights coming on. It'll have to be a good start from Jason Cooper to keep his lead. Will his teammate help him out? The lights are away. Oh, he's not got a great launch off the line, you know.
Massive wheel
going to be side by side. Yeah, Cherney's going to be line of abreast. He's going to be around the outside, though. Looking to the inside is going to be Jack Ashton. There's so much overlap there. Ashton clips the curb on the inside. It's a great run out of there by Jason Cooper, though. So now Cherney's got to do the work to keep Ashton behind. And obviously, because of the preferred racing line through the right. Oh, there's a car around there in the midfield. Looking who that is going down the order. Tyler Lugo Vickery has been off as well. He's coming back on. There is Rob Graham and his teammate next to him as well. There was a livery that I did not recognise. Liam Silkstone, I believe. Yeah, I think this is his first race as well tonight, actually, Alex. So not the baptism of fire for Liam as they come on to the final sector of the lap already.
Yeah, short little lap around here, of course. Let's just bring the mean map up so you can see where they are. Yeah, so
ignore me.
So into what we know is the final sort of couple of sectors, so the really tight, twisty bit where you drivers, I'm sure, are going to poke their nose in a place or two to try and get some moves done, and then this very, very long right-hander, reminiscent of Turkey Turn 8, as I like to call it, just in reverse and a lot tighter. So it's not really anything like it at all, but yeah. That kind of feel where you're just absolutely giving it everything, maximum G that the car can pretty much handle.
Yeah, it's right on the edge of grip. You've just got to really be careful on the throttle as you go around there. it's easy to want to overdo it. You can see the wonderful snake of cars there on the track map on the right hand side. Just to reiterate, any cars that are highlighted blue are the pro cars and the green ones are AM. Alex thankfully bringing the graphic up at the top, but look at that, 4/10 faster by Jason Cooper on lap 1 then. He's obviously made it up in the corners for that bad start, but a relatively clean first lap actually, Alex, and as you can see by the snake on the track map there, actually it's quite sort of evenly spread out all the way through by the look of it.
Yeah, let's just take a quick look at intervals. Yeah, so everyone pretty much sort of under a second from each other all the way down at the moment. So a couple of little gaps, but yeah, a good start. We had a couple of cars just around in turn 1, but since then, it's been pretty smooth sailing in terms of incidents. Plowman just dropping off the back of Van Gool, and Dick also from McRitchie. So just takes a... I wonder what's going on with Stuart, because actually he's losing a place right now as well. Ah, that's why. Slow on the inside. Yep. Is that a slowdown penalty? It might be, or he might have some damage there. But yeah, it's affecting him a fair bit. Looks like he's coming back up to speed right now. So it looks like a slowdown, I think, Chaz.
Yeah, it might be from just sort of overdoing it on one of the runoff areas, or just going over a curb a bit too much, because these apexes, like you say, not the easiest to spot, especially at turn 1. See a lot of these guys lighting up the timing tower on the left hand side red at the moment as they just clip the runoff areas and run a little bit wide. They've got to be careful about those incident points though. If you're new to iRacing, they have an incident point system, so if you put 2 wheels or half the car off the track, or what they consider to be track limits, then you get what is known as an incident point, and you get a limit of how many you can get. There's going to be a couple of guys getting them there. You can have a limit of how many you get over the course of a race, and I believe in this series it's 20, so they can take liberties in certain corners, but you have to be careful throughout. And second place now obviously is Jamie Ayres. He's taken the position from Alex Cherney, and he's going to want to go after Jason Cooper here, but Jason's made a run for it. On board now with Cherney in third place. I'll say that just as Jack Ashton is side by side with him. You can see them swapping places on the left hand side. You can see him in the mirror there as well. He's through the S's. Jack Ashton's still there on the left. You've got to be so careful not to hit those big orange curbs. Bit of opposite lock there from Alex Cherney. Fantastic car control. Really good battle in between these boys, and normally on the Grand Prix circuit you'd turn right there. But there we go, left. That's a wonderful little bit of track there. Not really seen this layout used before, but that little left right there, Alex, that's seemingly impossible to get an overtake done there, to be honest, but it must be exciting to drive on a hot lap when you're really on it.
Yeah, I imagine very tricky. Like I say, in the Legends it was a lot of fun round there, and of course just that little bit of battling that Cherney and Ashton had there and set them back. Good second, and Cooper, I tell you what, man, he's flying. He loves this place. So
yeah,
whether he's just put a little bit more practice in than maybe some of the others have, because obviously it's not let's be honest, it's not a circuit that people will run a lot. I would think there's a fair few drivers out there that have probably never run this layout before.
No, definitely not. I've not even seen it, to be honest. I had to do a bit of research when we said what layout they were running tonight, just to know where they're going to be going, really. But it's seeming like a nice little variation of it. I know that the Grand Prix circuit, it'd probably be about 3 to 5 working days to do a lap round here in one of these things. But it's a potent little circuit. But even saying that though, there's still nearly 2 minutes a lap. I mean, some of the guys further down the order are doing 1 minute 50s in terms of their lap time. So it's not a short circuit by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly feels like it, because we're already on lap 4, so it's flying by at the moment. We look at Ashley Beard attacking Steve Hefford at the moment in the Excite car, and as we've said all along in this series, you can see in the distance as well, these Excite cars are never just on their own on track. They're always in at least a pair. They hunt in packs, as Adam McNally says.
Yeah, without fail. And you got Ashton Holmes just ahead of Steve Hefford right now. Well, as I say, just ahead, it's about 2 seconds. So Hefford coming under increasing pressure, and it's just built that gap up. There's the rest of that little pack that we were talking about. So will he be able to close back up or not? But yeah, a couple of gaps starting to form up that I really didn't expect to see.
Yeah, I was expecting it as well to stay very bunched up all throughout the pack. But I think it's just where there's the odd battle, like you said before, with Alex Cherney and Jack Ashton. Once there's a bit of battling going on, it really sets them back, and it just gives people the chance to run away, as we see Hefford now with the 2 Excite boys of Beard and Delmont behind him. And one thing I did note earlier, Alex, which we may hear at some point, is that I mean, I hope that neither of them take offence to this, but Adam Delmont really does sound like Steve Hefford in voice chat. I genuinely thought Steve Hefford was in there when I popped in to say hello to the boys before, and it turns out it was Adam Delmont, so you never know, we might have to try and get them in the same room and see if we can tell them apart at some point. As we look at James McRitchie there chasing down Kip Stevens, he's in the asymmetric car. Lovely little livery on that car, it's nice and subtle, but it's bold at the same time. As he runs a little bit wide there, he's under pressure now from Nick McCarron in the number 2 car. Nick's been running very well at the moment. I think he's actually top of the standings last time I saw. I know that he put a Facebook post up a while ago about it within the group that these guys have. And he's just been scoring points under the radar, really, Alex. I think it's how he's achieved so much in this series. He just gets consistent finishes and he just keeps the car going. And that's key to these things, isn't it? Because a lot of these guys battle too much sometimes and end up in accidents.
Yeah, indeed, and that's what I'm basically not doing right now in my my Thursday night version of this series. You know, with the so no consistency and smashing it out of the way. So coming through, got my my chrome bumper on and doing my business.
I've never seen a Kia Optima mounted with a bull bar on the front of it. But hopefully McRitchie's not going to get the bull bar out on Kip Stevens here, because he's gained a lot of time through there. It looks like Kip ran a bit wide in the number 29 Swift Coupe Esports car. Got a right good ding-dong going on in front of him as well. Side by side, I think that is Hefford actually. He's been overtaken by Ashley Beard, and now he's defending from Delmont. So his voice double will be having a go at him. Maybe they'll be shouting stuff at each other in chat and getting confused at who's who. You never know. But there's one of the Fury Simsport cars in there as well getting involved. Peter Van Gool on the back of that. Peter's one that's been having bad luck as well, actually, isn't he, Alex? Over the last couple of rounds, we keep seeing him getting really good qualifying positions, and then has an accident in race 1 and it sends him to the back for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, just the way it goes, isn't it? Sometimes I've lost my mouse. It's not good. Here we go. Can't change any cameras. Let's go. Oh, who's that? That is Van Gool. Yeah, just running a little wide, so
jinxed him.
But yeah, I was just looking at the standings as well, and you are right. Nick McCarron is leading the way in pros, as far as I can tell. Looking at the points, for some reason I'm struggling to get it to filter, but yeah. So doing a heck of a job. 43 points clear on Kip Stevens right now.
And again, well, there you go. And Kip Stevens, he's another one under the radar, just consistently scoring points. He's 12th at the moment. McCarron's 14th, but he's just always there or thereabouts, and that's how you win these championships. I mean, anyone that watches the British Touring Car Championship would have, of course, not to blow smoke up his backside, but they would have noticed that Mr. Ash Sutton on the weekend got 2nd, a 3rd and a 5th, and now he's top of the standings. I think going into it, he was like 8th in the championship or something. Maybe, actually, I think he was like 3rd or 4th, to be honest, but it's been very close. So ignore me on that one. It's not that much of a jump up, but even still, that's what it's all about. You might not have to win all the races in the world, but you can still get those consistent finishes. You can see the differing lines that these guys are taking around this section of the track. It's great to see from such distance as well. As we look right now at the battle between Ashton and Cherney. Cherney blinking around a little bit there. Hopefully he doesn't have any issues that completely take him out of the race. But he's hot in pursuit now. He wants to get that position back from Jack Ashton. But these Excite Energy iRacing cars, Alex, they've done a fine job since coming into the series. They just seem to get stronger and stronger each week.
Yeah, that's the only way to describe it, really. I think they're just, you know, they've built the team. They wanted to do well, and yeah, they're just progressing, practicing more, and yeah, they're just they're bringing it to the party, really. So good to see, because obviously the old Momo team, which is the Sim Labs, you know, they really were running right with it, and yeah, it's good to see that you know, Excite were able to step up, and then of course Swift Cooper Esports come out of nowhere, didn't they? Really, and have been, you know, absolutely on it this season. So yeah, it's great to have 3 really high quality teams fighting it out.
Yeah, it's sort of similar to the Formula 1 at the moment with Mercedes, Ferrari and occasionally Red Bull, but it's a little bit closer between these 3. It's just all about the cars being so similar. It's down to the teamwork a lot of the time and making sure you have track position, because we've seen in a lot of rounds in this championship before, because of how strong the slipstream is, a lot more of the tracks with longer straights, you want to be the guy in second going on to the last lap, just so you can slipstream past the guy at the end and take the win. But again, you can't take chances in these races, so sometimes you have to just go for it and try and get ahead. We do have live timing, of course, tonight, which you will be able to access in the, well, there's a link in the chat right now for anyone on YouTube. And you can keep up with exactly what's going on there. Obviously, we do try and bring you as much of this race as we can, up and down the field. But just in case there is anything going on that we've missed, you can catch it there as well. There is the gap between each car then. Jamie Ayres currently in second place, but look at Jason Cooper, like you say, Alex, he's loving it out there. He's just running away with it at the moment.
I have to say, Ayres in the latter part of this race has been able to match his pace. Those gaps not really picking up, sort of stayed around that 2.5, 3 seconds. So he's coming under a bit of pressure now from Ayres. Ayres is slowly, Ashton is slowly catching him up as well. So yeah, I feel like if they were able to stay in the slipstream of Cooper at the start, they would have been able to have certainly given him a bit of a run for his money. Cherney, to me, just hasn't quite got the pace of his teammate, and perhaps the slipstream for qualifying is what got him into second place. But yeah, so you've had Ayres and Ashton. Really, they've had to battle by Alex, and that's kind of what's sort of denied them the opportunity to have a run at Cooper. So good teamwork, I think, from Swift Cooper to get Cherney onto that sort of second place on the grid, and you know, really allow Cooper the opportunity to run away with it at front.
Yeah, he's provided
if, 2
a
seconds
buffer.
is running away with it.
Well, in this series, compared to what we usually see, I'd consider that running away with it, yeah. But Ashton isn't leaving Ayres alone here. He's actually putting a lot of pressure on. We can see in each corner he's just seemingly getting closer and closer. That little the left, right, left section is absolutely brilliant. You can just see the cars hopping around. Absolutely loving it with the soft suspension that you get on these MX5s. They do like a bit of body roll and a bit of a nosedive on the brakes, but as part of the character, Ayres really wide there. But here is Jason Cooper then, who is now going to start what will be the final lap of the race. Crosses the line onto lap 10, 1:46.0 that time round, followed by 1:45.9 and 1:45.8 by Ashton. Cherney does his personal best as well in 4th place, so the pace is really sort of quite close between these guys, like you say, Alex, but Jason just needs to manage it now and just do what he needs to do on this final lap, keep the car on the circuit, not risk anything too much and just go for it. But hopefully we'll see Ashton and Cherney maybe close up a little bit on Ayres here towards the end of the lap. You never know though. Looks like he's got it sorted at the moment. Here's McNally fighting his way through. He got excluded from qualifying. He had a penalty from last time round. He's up 13 places at the moment. Alex Rivette is the only driver that's gained more places than that for Year 1 racing. There he is in the very brightly coloured car. He's gained 14 places up to 22nd, so fantastic drive from Alex Rivette at the moment. He's currently 5th in the AM category as well, Alex, so he's pretty much overtaken all of his competitors in the AM category to get to where he is now. As we see side by side, Craig Jones running wide there after a battle with, that's Lorne Murray. His teammate Mikey Key there behind him as well for Result Clothing, and then Scott Malcolm as well in there, and Mick Barry, so all Result Clothing cars sort of huddling together at the moment. But here is your current race leader, and Ashton has got past Jamie Ayres. He's finally got the move done. We just missed it, but we know that it's been done. And now Cherney's going to be on the prowl as well to try and overtake Ayres, get onto that podium. Not sure whether there was any contact. I think there's a little bit of damage to the front right of Ashton's car, but I'm not sure whether that was there before.
Yeah, we'll definitely catch that overtake.
Down the inside he goes. But there's your race winner then, Jason Cooper. 2nd place with Jack Ashton. Jamie Ayres does finish 3rd ahead of Cherney, and 5th Brian Holmes there. He was very under the radar as well, just like his teammates Beard and Delmont, 6th and 7th. Van Gull is 8th. Hefford dropped down to 9th in that one there, Alex, so not the result he was looking for. Here's Craig Cameron behind Max Wright. This is for the AM win. Nick McCarron coming back on the track in front of them there. Max Wright wins the AM category in that race. I think Nick McCarron might have got a slowdown there, at the end. Not quite sure whether he did or not. He did slow down, didn't he, right, just after he got across the line. Don't know whether it would have been too late there, though. But brilliant stuff for...
I don't know if you get one there for extending. You might do, actually.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure, but I don't know why he slammed on so hard. There's great battles all the way down the field here. Just ahead of these guys, down the inside there. That's Joe McDonald and Josh Rayfield as well.
Oh,
and
someone
Tyler
losing
Lugo
it.
Vickery. Tyler.
Oh, I think he got disqualified as well. Or he's either
yeah,
quit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too happy with that, especially knowing it got onto the broadcast. Josh Rayfield, his dad Jay is watching tonight. Shout out to Jay. Always very supportive of Josh and the series that he competes in as well. It's great to see him about. Here's the move then. Ashton. Oh, Ayres just overcooked it, didn't he?
Yeah, made a mistake. Let him in. Oh, well.
Easy as that for Ashton. Nicely done though. You could see he set it up. He ran wide going into the corner and sort of made sure that he got a late apex, and he did a fantastic job of that. Nicely done. Cherney gave it a go going into the last corner as well, but didn't quite get there in the end. But 10 out of 10 for effort. We'll just see it here now. There he goes, putting it down the inside just for the brakes. Jamie S does come over a little bit to defend, and they do a really good job not to make contact there. Jamie using all the road, nearly loses the back end, but he holds on to that podium. And a great first race there, Alex, to start off the evening. And of course, we do have 3 more to come. There it is then, Jason Cooper, your race 1 winner in the number 1 car from pole. Can't get much better than that. Jack Ashton finishes second ahead of Jamie Ayres, Alex Cherney, and then it's 3 XII racing cars, Brian Holmes, Ashley Beard and Adam Delmont. Then you've got Peter Van Gool, Steve Hefford and Dave Hampson making it a SimLab trio following them home. First car outside the top 10 is Martin Plowman, then Kip Stevens, James McRitchie and Nick McCarran. As we said, Max Wright wins the AM category ahead of Craig Cameron for Northern Lights Racing and Michael Wortman in 17th. Carl Hardy is in 18th place, the highest of the result clothing cars. Now it's Adam McNally, great recovery from him, Stuart Dick and Luke Cooper. Alex Rivette, great drive to 22nd there, with Billy Rose, Ralph Cullen and Andy Maxwell rounding out your top 25. Then it's the reverse grid wheelmaster himself, Jeroen Ursum, Mystic Meg as we call him. Lorne Murray 27th with Craig Jones 28th, Mikey Key 29th, and his teammates Scott Malcolm and Mick Barry 30th and 31st. Then it's Joe McDonald, Josh Rayfield, good first race for him there as well. Anthony Ainsworth for Fury Simsport 34th. Then he's followed by Rob Graham, Dale Bennison in 36th. And I believe there's a few more just to round up the back of the grid. There's Liam Silkstone, Stephen Cooley, David Ayres, Cesare Rizzo, and then Tyler Lugo Vickery, who we saw then as well, with Alex Perkis rounding out the back of the field there, Alex. Fantastic first race, though. The circuit seemed to work quite nicely, actually. There was a lot of overtaking going on.
Yep, I agree. And some good places where you can go for a battle and it switches, the advantage switches from one car to the next, depending on, what corner you are. I always like circuits like that. It just really makes for some great side-by-side battling.
Yeah, indeed. It was, again, like you said earlier, it's often these unorthodox tracks that, it's one of them that just works, doesn't it? It just works for this series. You don't think it will do as you go into it, but we certainly do see some fantastic racing at every track these guys go to. Jeroen Ursum has guessed that we'll get 30 on the wheel, so hopefully for him, we will see just that in a couple of moments.
Let's bring the wheel up then. See what we're gonna get. Well, stream's going to see what the result is, but Chaz, just for any new viewers, do you want to explain what exactly it is that we're doing right now with this wheel?
So, at the end of each race in the BSR MX5 Pro Series and other series that we do broadcast as well, there will be a reverse grid for races 2, 3, and 4 if there is that many races. Anyone that was 1 lap down or less will be eligible for it. And what we do is we spin a little reverse grid wheel with some fantastic, wonderful 80s music from the Wheel of Fortune. And basically that determines what the starting grid will be for the next one. So for example now, 41 cars finished 1 lap down or less. Tyler Lugo Vickery was in 41st place. But of course, just to make sure that people aren't sandbagging or slowing down on purpose in the race to get pole for the next one, you never know what it'll be. And it could be anywhere from, say, I think 15 is the least that we go for, is it, Alex? Mm-hmm. To a full grid.
Yeah, basically 50 is the kind of the highest, or full minus. Back it up a couple of cars as well, so people can't specifically target, a full reverse grid with it being the sort of the highest amount of opportunities to get it there. So yeah, it was 20. I bring it back up. It was 25th. Yeah, it was. Right.
Okay, smashing stuff. So that would mean then that Andy Maxwell will be on pole position alongside Ralph Cullinan. Then the second row will be Billy Rose and Alex Rivette. And interestingly enough, Luke Cooper will be 5th on the grid for Swift Cooper Esports. Now, he's very, very quick. Adam McNally will be 7th as well. So some great competition up there for race 2. If you join me and Alex in about 10-15 minutes' time, we will bring you that second race on the iRacing Esports Network. Don't go away.
finish here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMerritt at the line.
Welcome back to the iRacing Esports Network and Apex Racing TV for Race 2 this evening of the BSR MX5 Pro Series from Circuit of the Americas. It's the 8th race meeting of the championship, and under overcast conditions, Alex, we saw a fantastic race 1 to get us started.
Yeah, we did. Thoroughly enjoyed that one as well. Looks like we're going to have some good racing. It's going to be great watching the pack come through the pros, trying to work their way through the AMs. And yeah, as the session advances, there's a little bit of a break in the cloud. It just lit up a little bit, didn't it? But it does look pretty bad out there. Very cold, 18 degrees, so no issues for tyres or anything else. It's just going to be a straight out dogfight, I think, for the guys on this one.
Yeah, it should be good fun to watch this then. They are just lining up on the grid currently. And here is said grid. Andy Maxwell takes pole for Year 1 racing alongside Ralph Cullinan. And then it's Billy Rose, Alex Rivette. Great first race from him, so hopefully he can convert something here. And it's Luke Cooper, Stuart Dick, Adam McNally, Carl Hardy, Michael Wortman, Craig Cameron, Max Wright, Nick McCarron is 12th. Then it's James McRitchie, Kip Stevens, Martin Plowman, Dave Hampson, Steve Hefford, Pete Van Gool, Adam Delmont, Ashley Beard, Brian Holmes, Alex Cherney, Jamie Ayres, Jack Ashton, Jason Cooper is 25th. Jeroen Ursum then follows that up with Lorne Murray, Craig Jones, Mikey Key, Scott Malcolm, Mick Barry, Joe McDonald, Josh Rayfield, Anthony Ainsworth, and Rob Graham. And the lights are beginning to come on, I believe. There they go, they're away. Andy Maxwell leads off the line. Looks like some of the guys didn't take the start, like Luke Cooper and Adam McNally, actually. They were excluded from the start of this one. They've got pit lane starts. So the guys we mentioned before, Alex, that will be, we thought were going to be right up there, are not involved. And there's a bit of contact going in there between the Year 1 car of Alex Rivette. I think it was Stuart Dick in the 61 machine. He's the highest placed pro driver at the moment in 4th place overall. Bit of contact between those guys, but from this camera angle, it looks like the field's pretty spread out already. I suppose it's quite a long run up to turn 1, but yeah, there's quite a big spread already by the look of it. There is the whole field snaking through the S's then. You can see just in the middle there's an Excite, sort of the little caterpillar of cars there. Fantastic little chicane sort of section there. Alex Rivette, all sorts of sideways, but yeah, he's been on it tonight, hasn't he? He's been absolutely flying so far, and hopefully he can get an AM win out of this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think looking at the first half of this lap so far, most important thing, no real spinners or anything like that. So just got those guys that are coming in, starting from the pit lane that are a bit further back. But yeah, good clean start, which is what we want. Oh, that's great batting.
Yeah, Rivette just chucks it up the inside of Ralph Cullinan. No prisoners taken whatsoever. They've got Stuart Dick behind them in the asymmetric car, which I still haven't done a pro decal layer for. He's got the green highlights on the car, but he is actually a pro driver, so I do apologise. We look at Martin Plowman in 13th at the moment. Oh, he's got Steve Hefford behind him, nearly gives him a tap on the rear. He gets away with it. These guys are on the back of a very impressive train of cars here. It looks like someone in the background going for the pit lane. Billy Rose and his teammate Craig Cameron, as well as some of the guys there running wide out of the final corner, sorry. Max right there just in front of Plowman. Plowman had to get on the brakes as to not run into the back of him, and now Steve Hefford's got the run. Look at the massive incline into turn 1. You don't realise how steep it is until you see it from that angle. Look at that from Stuart Dick, really opportunistic stuff. Tries to get down the inside. Great stuff by Alex Rivette as well. Keeps it around the outside. Now it's a Year 1 1-2 at the moment, and he's in the number 1-1-3 car. But great stuff by those boys now, and Andy Maxwell running away with it at the moment. And he's quite new to this series. It's contact. That's Hefford in the wall. That's Max Wright and Steve Hefford. And Max Wright, well, he made a name for himself in the BSR TC in Thursday nights, and he's done the same again here. Is that Plowman? It is Martin Plowman. We were just saying before how he was coming through, and he's around as well. Dave Hampson is also on highlighting red on the timing tower on the left. You can just see him going slowly there. Martin Plowman now trying to make his way back up to the group in front. That was a real shame that to see Hefford and Max right there. There's Ralph Cullinan off in a different zip code there. Would say postcode, but we're in the States. But those Year 1 cars, Alex, really putting on a show with just the liveries up front. But yeah, hopefully Rivette and Maxwell can run away with it here. Relatively new team to the championship as well, so it'll be good to see them get some good results under their belts quite soon on in the championship. I say soon on, it is round 8 already, but you know what I mean.
But how often do we see new teams come in and just slowly improve, and then they start picking up the odd podium, and then maybe the odd win, and things like that, and then before you know it, we've got another really strong team. So, and just to pick up on the question that Steve Taylor has asked as well, yes, 720p. It surprised me as well. For some unknown reason, it looks like my profiles have been edited, and for whatever reason, the stream's going out at 720 tonight. So yeah, I'll be back at 1080 next week. But yeah, just something I didn't spot when the stream went live. But don't want to stop it midstream.
Yeah, you don't get the privilege of listening to our wonderful voices then.
Yeah, old school, really, isn't it? 720 is really. Yeah,
it'll look good on the phone. Billy Rose there running wide. Oh, he has to try and compromise his line. Look at how much it holds people up there when they have to back up through that section. You've got the Excite trio at the back there of Delmont, Beard and Holmes. Brian Holmes did the fastest lap of the race last time round. There's purple sectors from Alex Cherney and Jamie Ayres as well, who's just dropped down a couple of spots.
So I think Richie just got Nick McCarron there as well. That was a good little move. Yeah. So Richie showing good pace.
Yeah, he has been quick, James McRitchie. We were trying to get him promoted to pros. Oh, running wide there. That's Alex Rivette from the lead, so he got past Maxwell at some point. And he's pushing hard, is Alex Rivette, though. He's doing a sterling job so far.
Still building a lead on Rafe Cullinan, aren't they? So that's what they need. But yeah, I think like Stewart and McRitchie, they've got enough pace that if they can get by Rafe pretty quickly, they're going to be able to drive up to the back of these two, try and spoil their fun.
You can see the differing lines there, though. Cullinan took a late apex, and yeah, you can definitely get slowdowns there, can't you? I didn't realise just how much it would affect it, but you can definitely get the slowdowns there. I think one of the Rivette has disappeared. He's dropping down the timing tower on the left as well. That's a commentator's curse if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not sure whether it's his connection or...
he did just blink in just for a split second there. That might just save his bacon, but he's going to need to. That connection's going to need to sort itself out. Otherwise, Irison's going to kick him any second. And then, totally off the top 25 now. Yeah,
I can see he's still going down the order. He's into the 35th and lower. I've just noticed as well another car that I need to sort a decal layer out for, because Andy Maxwell has no number boards. But we know what number car he is, luckily, because of that livery, giving us a very bright demonstration of it. Down the inside, there's McRitchie.
Yeah, so Dick got himself past, and McRitchie takes full advantage with Cameron just being a little bit slow off the corner there where they're battling. Gets a little bit of a bash, but there is a little bit of damage, but I think he'll still be good to push on. Nick McCarron now putting the pressure on to Craig Cameron as well.
Yeah, he's got a good run out of there as well. Look at the absolute gaggle behind. There is Rivette, I think. Rivette has just popped back onto the circuit, or one of them has.
Yeah, he was Rivette. So that come out of nowhere. How did they? That was nearly 2 minutes he was gone for there. Pretty much a whole lap. So how the sim let him rejoin there. That obviously that little blink that he had saved him. So
yeah, that saved his bacon. Wow. So well, he's back in it now. And then they've got the two asymmetric cars behind. Look at these Excite boys making their way through. Cherney completely sideways there, side by side with Brian Holmes. Great scrap there between the Excite boys and the Swift Cooper Esports boys as well. That's that massive climb up to turn one. It still startles me each time just how steep that is. Coming across the inside there, that is Kip Stevens. Sends it down the inside of Billy Rose. But look, there you go. That's how the different lines work. Billy Rose gets a great run. Ashley Beard is going to try and attack Kip Stevens as well now, in what seems to be a slightly unbranded Swift Cooper Esports car. He's got the livery, but I can't see any logos on that thing. Not sure whether he's running it as like a reserve driver for them or just helping the branding or what, but this is a great train of cars now with Billy Rose at the front of it. Look at them all, absolutely fantastic. They're all so close together, all taking different lines. Oh, there's contact between Beard and his teammate Delmont there. Somehow keeps it together, but that's helped Alex Cherney out. He's going to go down the inside of the pair of them now. And even down the inside of him, I think that was Brian Holmes, was it? Oh, he's around Beard. Beard is around. I think he's been hit by Jason Cooper as well. I think, that was Brian Holmes that caused that. I think Brian went down the inside of Cherney. They didn't all expect it. And Beard was the one that ended up losing out, unfortunately. So Bit of a mess there from the Excite boys, but they hunt in packs and they continue. That's why the strength in numbers. One of them gets spun, but the three of them are still there fighting on. Here we go again then. You can see, look on the right, Brian Holmes down the inside, and it's just him straight into his teammate, unfortunately. I would have thought that he pushed someone else into it. Jason Cooper making contact as well. And there's going to be...
I think Brian just... It's an unfortunate racing incident there. Brian just going for the move there, and because of that, how wide that apex is, and his teammate just didn't see him there.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And of course...
For a second then, McRitchie now trying to get through on Rivette. And actually you want to get him, you don't want his connection to drop out. That's the worst thing when you've got a car just popping in and out, and he does get through.
Doesn't do anything for your confidence when you're racing them. You just feel like you have to really be on edge, and it just means that you're not quite concentrating to completely go for it. But having a good scrap now then. But Andy Maxwell, fair play to the lad, still leading the race. I know he's quite new to BSR and its MX5 series. He's been doing some of the Monday Cup as well, which we also broadcast. Here's the view back then. James McRitchie, you can see by the blue highlights next to his name on the overlay and on his windscreen banner that he has got it's blue overlays, so he's a pro driver. Drivers that are considered AM have green. And you can see there, Alex Rivette, he's not giving him an easy time, is he, Alex? He's not thinking, I'll just let this pro driver go through and go after it. He's like, you are not going to get up to my teammate. I'm going to put all the pressure on and make sure that we have a good scrap. He's so close to the back of him. This is a brilliant, brilliant spot. Probably the best seat in the house to watch this from. Maybe that other than Stuart Dick's car in 4th place. But again, these new teams coming in, Asymmetric and Year 1 Racing. Great to see them having a good battle out on track, and of course lighting up our timing screens and of course the broadcast.
This is what we want, isn't it? We want them to come in and not be afraid to have a good old fight out there. And yeah, Rivette doing that, and that's what he needs to do if he's going to give his teammate a chance of trying to win this one. So, and actually, he's got a good run here. He's got an opportunity. It's
Delmont out. He's just disappeared on the timing on the left. Don't know whether he got disqualified.
17th dropping.
I'll have a quick look. Yeah, he's got quite a lot of incident points according to the.
Oh, they're 3 wide into turn 1, and McRitchie now followed by Rivette and Maxwell. So, yep, we have a quick look back for a second, and it all changes at the front.
Yeah, that's my bad, to be fair, but yeah, that's just how quickly it can change in this series. Andy Maxwell, though, was doing a fine job. Here's what happened to Delmont.
Yeah.
Is he just going to get an off-track or contact? He's going to run wide, is he? And he's going to suddenly disappear. Boink. Yep. There he goes.
Just and a disqualification.
Yeah, so, unfortunately for him.
For those unaware as well, obviously they do run an instant limit for the series. And wow. So, yeah, keep looking away.
Again.
Yeah, so let's find out what happened there, because...
maybe Rivette's connection scared him so much that he just backed off, you never know. So here is Rivette then chasing down McRitchie. Does he just run wide, do you reckon? Oh, he's hot in there. Yeah, he's just run... Or has he got a slowdown? It's a slowdown, isn't it? Yeah. Real shame, though, but that's just how it levels the playing field a little bit. If you get drivers that are pushing that extra bit too hard sometimes, you can get penalised for it. But it only seemed like a minor one in that point as well, Alex. So it's not completely taking him out of the race. And I think that's where iRacing do get it really right sometimes, is that obviously on the first lap, you do want to be pushing hard, but slowdowns can really hurt you.
Apart from the first lap, but they don't get it right in the first lap. So.
Look at this gaggle behind those. Stuart Dick, Craig Cameron, Nick McCarran, Wortman is in there as well. I'm really sorry, Michael, I did forget your first name without looking at the timing screen there. Carl Hardy, 8th. One of the only guys that's actually where he started at the moment. Martin Plowman is the only other car that has achieved that so far. And look at Maxwell now really defending from McRitchie. Makes him go all the way around the outside, gets on the throttle Lily, but McRitchie makes it stick. Fantastic commitment. You've got to love that. Really, really good stuff. And the sun has come out here now as well, Alex. So if we know iRacing, the track temperature will be rising pretty quickly for these boys. So maybe with just a couple of laps left, maybe another 4.5 minutes or so. You can see them sliding around now.
There's a massive old slide there, so yeah. So it's got 2 and a bit laps, hasn't he, to try and hold on to this 0.8 of a second. We know how quickly that gap is going to come down. So with tall old order, I don't think McRitchie's going to make the same mistake again. But Rivet, he's just got to push like crazy and see if he can just mitigate this time loss over this next sort of 2.5 laps. Might be able to hold on to this.
Whoa! Speaking about pushing like crazy, that was completely sideways around the right-hander there. It's not going to do anything for his lap time.
Oh,
Oh
no.
no! Is that his connection, or has he had an incident point? I suppose we won't know until he pops back in again.
No, we
But
will
James
never
McRitchie-
know.
James McRitchie inherits the lead of the race through circumstances that he probably would have liked to avoid. He probably would have liked a good scrap for it, and I'm sure everyone watching, and obviously us two as well, would have enjoyed that. But he leads the race. Andy Maxwell still second place. You've got to give him a good shout out as well. Andy Maxwell's done a fine job so far, leading the AM category. Here we are then looking at Nick McCarron in a battle with Michael Wortman. Michael, one of the United States drivers that does compete in this series as well. It may be British sim races as BSR, but there's plenty of international talent in these championships, and that's what we know and love about it. As there's some of the Result Clothing cars and Kip Stevens as well, waiting in the wings to try and take any opportunity to make a move. Stuart Dick is at the front of this group as well. And this has been a very, very nice and clean train so far throughout this race, Alex. We've not seen any sort of major incidents up front. It's been a real pleasure to watch these boys scrap and keep it nice and clean.
Absolutely, racing's been great. This is what we want to see week in, week out. I don't want to speak too soon. There's Alex Rivet. He's back. So it is just his connection, but he is in second place, unfortunately. So McRitchie, we're like, well, that's how you do the overtake. Just wait for him to disappear for half a lap, and you just just do your normal lines, do your business, and away you go. So the worst thing is when you get those drops like that, you have those little stutters. And have you seen your timing screen? What is going on back here? You need to have a little look at this.
Yeah, we've got some
Could
Swift
be
Cooper cars.
Could be nothing, but it might be.
Oh,
Oh, it certainly
no.
is something. So
Brian Holmes, two teammates in the same corner in one race. There's going to be some very strong words from team manager Adam McNally in the chat, and it'll be all in Geordie gibberish, of course. But hopefully Brian understands it when he gets a slap on the wrists. But here is Alex Rivet then, the connection renegade at the moment, but he's still in second though, so fair play to him. Doing a fine job. Oh, it's McRitchie now. Will he get a slowdown for that? Because essentially you can gain from it, and it does seem daft sometimes to think that you can get a slowdown from going around the outside of a corner, but the run is obviously very important up the straight. He doesn't seem to have slowed down yet, so I think he'll be alright for that. But of course, Rivet and Maxwell are teammates in the AM category here, so these guys will both be aiming for a win. I was saying about hoping for Rivet to get a win because he did such a great job in race one. He gave 14 places, I think it was, to finish 22nd. So he does deserve it for the amount of effort he's put in tonight. And of course, Andy Maxwell, great first. It's the first meeting I've seen him competing in the Pro Series. Anyway, I know he's done the Monday Night Cup for a few weeks, but that's a great flowing bit of track there. Wonderful shot from the chopper cam as well. Look at how you really have to be on it. It's just like a lot of Circuit the Americas. You really have to be on it all the way around. And Stuart Dick is, well, dropping down the order, unfortunately, on the left-hand side. He's very consistently up there throughout the whole race. As here's a bit more of a scrap further back. Kip Stevens side by side with Carl Hardy. He's still chasing down into the final sector. You can see he's just putting the pressure on here as well. Doing a wonderful job.
yeah, just what's that? That's Rafe Cullinan with Cooper as well. So Cooper up and through, up 16 spots for Jason Cooper. Great drive. These guys are all exchanging positions. That's McCarron going a little bit slow, loses some places there, but coming across the line any second.
Oh, or is he? Is he going across the line? Does he get a slowdown for that? I'm not quite sure what's going on. Alex Rivet as well slowed down, but and Andy Maxwell's going down the order too. I was just about to call him out in third, and he's disappeared. Oh, has he got a slowdown as well? Has he run out of fuel even? Nick McCarron's done the same. It's a very short run to the line there, so I'm not sure what the situation is with those guys getting slowdowns, you know, but
Maybe it is fuel, and with the track being very cold, maybe they burnt a little bit more fuel than they were expecting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all change right at the end. McRitchie wins for Pro and the race, but Alex Rivette with a great drive, even though he was blinking in and out like a magician.
Yeah, well, I think they've all disappeared.
So, but yeah, wins AM as well. So great job from him. Craig Cameron inherits second place and third on the overall as well. So great drive from him for what was basically just a very controlled race, just staying out of trouble.
Yeah, that was the key in that one by the look of it, wasn't it? Just staying out of trouble, and that was the key to making sure that you got the results, I suppose. Not really pushing too hard to get a result. Just got to keep it on the black stuff, haven't you, sometimes, and that's what you get. I mean, look, once again, at Kip Stevens, 5th place in that one. Really under the radar, as we said. Nick McCarron, 12th again. They're just picking up these consistent points, and that's how they do so well in the championship overall. James McRitchie wins the race then. Alex Rivette 2nd, McCraig Cameron 3rd, Michael Wortman in 4th place, Kip Stevens in 5th, Carl Hardy 6th, Jason Cooper in 7th. Great drive by him to get up there as well from 25th on the grid. Ralph Cullen in its 8th, Jack Ashton 9th, Alex Cherney 10th. Andy Maxwell drops to 11th. Real shame there after such a strong race. Hopefully in the next reverse grid he will do just as well. Nick McCarron 12th, Martin Plowman 13th, Ashley Beard 14th with Dave Hampson in 15th. Lorne Murray is 16th, Scott Malcolm is 17th, and Josh Rayfield in 18th place. Then it's Joe McDonald. Max Wright rounds out your top 20 after an early incident with Steve Hefford. Then it's Alex Perkis, Jeroen Ursum, Adam McNally, Craig Jones, Rob Graham, Steve Cooley, Luke Cooper 27th, David Ayres 28th, Dale Bennison 29th, and Anthony Ainsworth rounds out your top 30. Then it's Jamie Ayres, Mikey Key, Peter Van Gool, and Cesare Rizzo, and the cars one lap down or more. Stuart Dick, unfortunately, there for asymmetric after, again, such a strong drive. Him and Andy Maxwell will be kicking themselves for whatever happened there. Brian Holmes took out 2 of his teammates in that one, so maybe he'll be having a word with Adam McNally. Then it's Mick Barry, Liam Silkstone. He's not having a fantastic night tonight. Hopefully that picks up. Same for Tyler Lugavickery as well. And it's Steve Hefford, Billy Rose, and Steve Hefford's voice double, Adam Delmont, 42nd. We have Jeroen Ursum getting 30 on the reverse grid wheel for the second time tonight, Alex. So I think he's trying his luck on this one, isn't he?
Yeah, possibly. Let's see. Bring it straight up and give it a spin. Yeah, he's missed it, unfortunately. It's going to be another... maybe it's not going to be such a large one. Oh, just flips over to 25th. So, actually, relatively small reverse grid for a change.
Second time tonight we have 25 then. Rob Graham will start on pole position in the number 22 car, alongside Craig Jones. Adam McNally will be 3rd on the grid, with Jeroen Ursum in 4th. I'm sure he'll be happy enough with that. And Alex Perkis for Northern Lights Racing will be 5th. So, if you join me and Alex in about 10-15 minutes time, once again on the iRacing Esports Network, we will bring you the 3rd of 4 races from Circuit of the Americas and the BSR MX5 Pro Series. Don't go away.
finish here of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMary at the line.
Welcome back to the iRacing Esports Network and Circuit of the Americas for the BSR MX5 Pro Series. This is going to be the third of 4 races this evening. Unfortunately, just heard that Billy Rose is having issues with his PC, so won't be making this race for Northern Lights Racing, unfortunately. We've got sort of colder conditions again here, Alex. We've had 2 great races so far, mixed conditions in the second one, but yeah, fantastic racing all throughout.
Yeah, it's definitely overcast, isn't it? 18. So a few drivers caught out with the cooler temperatures, meaning that the fuel burn was just a bit higher, and they were running out as they were crossing the start-finish line. So a few places lost for a few drivers. So hopefully they've put a click of extra fuel in for this one, and we'll be raring to go. So yeah, like I say, 2 good races so far. Much the same, I think.
And there is our grid. Rob Graham on pole position alongside Craig Jones. Adam McNally from 3rd. He's going to be definitely one to watch in this one, with Jeroen Ursum 4th. Alex Perkis 5th. Max Wright 6th. Joe McDonald 7th. Josh Rayfield 8th. He's one to watch as well for Northern Lights Racing. Scott Malcolm in 9th. And Lorne Murray in 10th. Then there's the pro drivers: Dave Hampson, Ashley Beard, Martin Plowman, Nick McCarron, Andy Maxwell, Alex Cherney, Jack Ashton, Ralph Cullinan, Jason Cooper, and Carl Hardy. And you know what, Alex? I think Adam McNally may be starting from the pits again. He did mention to me earlier tonight that he had a disqualification from qualifying and a pit start, but I wasn't sure whether it was race 3 that he'll be starting. He is going to be starting from the pits, so ignore me. He's not one to watch for this. We've got AMS all the way at the front. Here we go then. Away we go. Look at all the smoke. Plenty of it as these guys get away. Rob Graham leading the way in the 22 car. Craig Jones is going to be alongside him then as they go up to turn 1, up the hill. Turning in. Oh, that was Jeroen Ursum for Excite iRacing as well. Someone getting plenty of curb on the inside there. It's easy to do, as Alex and I were saying earlier on in the broadcast. You've got a single screen, it's hard to see the apex. Plenty of 3-wide action as the guys go down the hill. Hopefully this all sorts itself out. Some of the year 1 boys in there. Oh, and there's plenty of contact there. There's cars around at the back. I think that was Steve Cooley, and is that Scott Malcolm, or is it Rob Graham? Is it? Rob Graham's going down the order. And oh, that was Hampson, I believe, who just got turned around there. It's all kicking off here, Alex. This is usual race 3 madness straight off the bat.
Yeah, well, normally it's race 4, I think, when it gets a bit like this. So a lot of people with slowdowns, first lap slowdowns. It looks like Hefford with one. Yeah, so I thought Hampson was going to pick up one for sure.
Cameron
but
around.
oh
Craig
man,
Cameron's around,
so a
Michael
couple
Walton.
of cars yep, involved in that one. So yeah, just a very interesting start to it. Complete contrast to what we saw in the last race. But at the front, Craig Jones, Max Wright, and Jeroen Ursum. Got a little bit of a gap from Alex Perkins just behind. Ashley Beard already up 7 spots as well. Surely he's got to be favourite to take this one, being the fact that he's into 5th already and not even the end of lap 1.
Yeah, he's done a sterling job, hasn't he? And to be fair, Ash has been quick all throughout the season. He's going to try and take advantage of Alex Perkis here, get a good run round the outside. He goes. He's got it done before they're even on the exit. Nicely paid. Alex is quite new to the series. Not sure how much of the MX5 he's driven before, but he's holding up his teammate now. And Martin Plowman's in there as well. Josh Rayfield is the Northern Lights car that was behind him. They're nearly 4 wide here going into turn 1. Rayfield on the right, Perkis in the middle, and Plowman on the left. Plowman's going to get it done for Fury Simsport. Nicely played. And in there as well, I believe that's Jack Ashton in the purple roll-caged Excite Energy car as well. Oh, a bit of contact there, I think, with McCarron. He's trying to stay out of trouble as well, though. We've been saying it all night about his consistent finishing, and yeah, he's trying to do it again as he fights with Lorne Murray there in the number 55 car. But Craig Jones leading the way from Max Wright, Jeroen Ursum. But yeah, Beard, fantastic start for him. Jack Ashton's up 10 places. Adam Delmont up 19 places to 23rd for Excite, further down the order. Very well done to him. Oh, was that him going off? Thankfully, no.
It wasn't.
That would have been a very, very good commentator's curse, that. He's behind his teammate Brian Holmes now. He's probably got... he's had a slap on the wrist between races from Adam McNally. There's Jamie Ayres with the double feint there ahead of him. This was the incident that we just missed. A car should exit stage right. Oh, he's hit the curb. Look at that. And oh, it was contact with the number 47. I believe that was Cesare Rizzo. Real shame there for Stuart Dick. But that's how easy it is when you've got so much momentum to carry through the S's. You can easily run wide on one of them, and it sets you up for the next. Lovely bit of track reflection there from that shot. As you can see, the sun trying to break through on the far side. These guys do a great job of doing a sort of daily progression over the races. They start off in the morning sort of conditions, then we've got like midday sort of conditions, then it gets to sunset, and then the last race will be at night. And some of the Excite boys I was talking to before the race meeting were saying that they did some testing of it at night, and you cannot see a single apex. It's hard enough in the day round COTA, so it should be interesting to see how they get on as we see the Battle of Orange here. Nick McCarron giving Alex Cheney a bit of a push down the straight. Oh, a bit of a wobble on the rear bumper. You've got to be careful doing that, just in case you turn the car in front. He's gone down the inside of Lorne Murray just ahead there. They nearly make contact. Lorne Murray gets on the brakes to save it. Nick McCarron around the outside of the pair of them. Nicely done there. Wonderful opportunistic stuff, that, wasn't it?
Perfect, yeah. Just took all that momentum around, and yeah, Murray had to get on the brakes, I think, to avoid a spin. And to Journey's credit as well, he did kind of check up as well and didn't help him around. Can be easily done.
Just finding it
Puff of
interesting,
smoke
actually.
somewhere.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
getting
someone did
tasty
go
at
off.
the front.
It's getting tasty in the background. Northern Lights are doing a
Yeah.
drifting contest. Yeah, I don't know who the winner was out of that, but it was Perkis ahead of Rayfield. They both saved it as far as I know, but yeah, like you say, it is getting tasty at the front. Ashley Beard now making his way through the AM drivers. He's got Plowman and his teammate Ashton as well, so Ashton and Ursum are going to want to take the pressure off Beard here as they try and break through. But yeah, Ashley's been absolutely flying. He's gone from 12th on the grid, and I'm pretty sure that by the end of this lap he's going to be in the lead if he doesn't go too wide round what you call Turkey 8, is it? Turn 8?
Turkey turn 8, yep.
Turkey turn 8, that's it. And we've got Demonic Gaming UK saying that this is much better than the real F1 racing, and I agree. There's a lot more going on. I was stating the other day, Plowman down the inside of right, and there is Ashley Beard into the race lead. Nicely done. I was saying about Formula 1 the other day, while it is still an amazing form of motorsport, a lot of the time people just catch up, they stay at a consistent pace, get past with no real fight, and then just drive off, and there's no sort of there's no sort of fight back, is there really? But with these boys, they never give up. Ashton flying down the inside into turn 1. He's going to have Plowman on his right somewhere. You can hear it. You can hear the cars on his right, but there he is just in front. And this is going to be the fight for the it's the fight for the podium in the pro category, and the fight for the podium overall at the moment. Craig Jones just needs to stay out of trouble with these boys and make sure that if they do get past, they do it in a place where he doesn't lose out too much. But Ashley Beard now will be hoping to run away with it. This is a great onboard shot of this section of the circuit. Look at how it drops down there. So much commitment from these drivers as Alex Cherney is dropping down the order on the timing tower on the left-hand side. Not quite sure what's happened there. Nearly contact on the brakes. There was so much closing speed there. I don't think Plowman expected Jones to brake as early as he did, and it caught him out. Now you can see Ashton trying to get the cutback. He's setting himself up. You can see all the different lines that drivers take through there. Now they're side by side into this sort of double apexed hairpin. Some very strange corners at COTA. It's not my favourite of circuits, but it does certainly provide great racing. Ashton lights up the rears on the Astro, and he's there's a car around in the background as well. Nick McCarron is around. I'm not even sure whether that was just himself. There was a lot of cars around him. It is easy to light it up too much.
Let's have a look.
Let's have a look. Alex absolutely flying on these cameras as always. Straight back to the incident. Wonderful stuff. So here he is then. It just makes contact. I'm pretty sure that was Alex Perkis on the way in. He was alongside, to be fair.
Going. Yeah, he was. That's just that I did say there would be a few people go for some moves at the inside. I mean, that's not the racing line at all. But yeah, you need to be given the space there. You have to say you do risk it diving up the inside there, because the driver can easily turn in.
Yeah. But the on the other side of it as well, we've got to be grateful there that both cars didn't go around into the path of the field, so there was no further incident from it, luckily. Unfortunately for Nick though, because he'll have wanted more people to get involved so he could try and get some places back. I have noticed though that Andy Maxwell, his car at the moment is actually in the race, number 19, but there's a big number 5 on the livery, so I think I've got to get my crayons out between race meetings and try and sort something out there. As we see, Plowman now second. Jones is around, and he's clipped by Max Wright. Max Wright's going to have to open up a franchising business for MX5 front ends after this evening. Jones gets going again. Not sure again whether that was just himself, because there are so many tight corners here that you can easily lose it on, and Craig will be kicking himself after that. Really will be, as he joins
I
back
think he
in
got
with the...
tagged. I'm almost sure he got an initial little hit. Let me see if I can.
He's getting overtaken by his
Fine.
teammate now. Alex Cherney's down there as well. It's Carl Hardy that's going past him. Not seen a lot of Carl tonight, to be fair. He's normally there or thereabouts. There's a little bit of contact with... that was Jason Cooper, I think, actually. He's up 13 places to 6th, so he's another driver that's crept under the radar. Luke Cooper and James McRitchie have both gained 18 places each. Adam Delmont take a bouse on 29 places gained. Here it is then. That's Plowman on the inside. Oh, he's going to be on the Astro. No, gets turned in. Oh, he turns in and Ashton's there. And well, Max Wright didn't even slow down there by the look of it. Just straight into him. Get out of my way. Speaking of Max Wright,
He's just got disqualified. Is he? There you go.
showing he might have got a meatball flag for the damage. For anyone that doesn't know, the meatball flag is a black flag with an orange circle in the middle of it, saying that basically your car is too damaged to continue. Please come in when you can. We all call it the meatball, just because it looks like one. Simple as that. So Jeroen Ursum now leads the AM category. Craig Jones has carried on though, so even after that big shunt, he's still fighting with Nick McCarron for 16th and 17th. Nick's going to be trying to make up some places and get back up the order. But yeah, as I said a moment ago, 31 places gained now by Adam Delmont. Alex, that's an absolutely insane drive. Incredible stuff. So that's from 42nd on the grid to 11th.
Can you say? Phenomenal.
It's just unreal. I don't even think I've gained that many places in my entire time on iRacing. I've been doing it 4 years.
Don't know if we've witnessed any of these overtakes, unfortunately, which we probably should have done. He's been flying through. And of course, we catch up with him now, and he's a second behind anyone, so, you know. So.
We'll have to get a time lapse or something done for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's done an amazing job there. We've got Demonic Gaming UK loving the meatball flag reference in the YouTube chat. We thought that was something among everybody, really, that knew of it. But good to be spreading the knowledge, though. At the end of the day, it's one of those wonderful little things in motorsport, I suppose, that people like to spread the rumours of. It's good fun. Jack Ashton there lighting up the time and time on the left hand side of red to show that he'd gone off the track. We've got a nice little spread of Pro and Ams being alternated on the left for now. Anyway, I'm sure that'll change any moment as we see Cherney all over the back of Carl Hardy. 3 laps to go, though, Alex. This race is proving to be a bit of an endurance one by the look of it. It's lasting quite a while this time round.
Yeah, I don't know why. You know, been full of action as well. But yeah, just seems to be going on. There's Cherney having a look up the inside of Hardy. Hardy doesn't really turn in, gives him the space. As the move's done, almost no point in fighting him. And yeah, settles in back behind now. Cherney's now got Ayres just ahead of him as well. See what he can do with him. Of course, those two were fighting for race number 1 of the evening.
They certainly were, and Ayres, of course, being the eventual winner of that. But we've seen some good pace from Jason Cooper as always tonight as well. He's 4th at the moment, James McRitchie 5th. So over the course of the evening, this is what happens with these reverse grids. The pro drivers, look at the commitment from Cherney around there. He got a really smooth run. Speaking of a smooth run, Rizzo just had a smooth run into the wall, unfortunately. Yeah, it's easy to overdo it though, and you could see that when we saw. Sorry, I've just completely forgotten who it was that watched do that then, but he just kept so much momentum, and even though he was on the Astro, he took the risk, kept his foot down, and here you'll see it again. Look at the speed they carry through there. You've got to turn it in, get on the throttle as soon as you can. It's just, you're on the Astro, and the car just rotates. Even on the brakes, it just didn't want to stop sliding.
I think he caught a bit of the grass as well, which made it even worse, and the car is crapping as well, so yeah. He might make it to the end if he's got if he has another meatball, but get 3 laps to cross the start-finish line 3 times before you get disqualified, I believe, if that's right, with them. So you should be able to keep at least 1 lap down and get a chance for a reverse grid spin here.
I've usually rage quit by the time I've got a meatball, so I don't know. But you've got Perkis here fighting with Adam Delmont. Just behind them is Alex Cherney as they go up the hill into turn 1. You can see people start turning into that corner so early just to get defensive on it. Even still, Cherney's got a mega run out of there, still side by side, trying to get around the outside of Perkis. It's currently an Excite 1-2 at the moment for Beard and Ashton. It's Plowman for Fury Simsport. Oh, side by side, Cherney and Perkis through there. That's really brave stuff. Perkis, the eventual winner of it, though, does a great job to keep it together. But that's meant now that Lorne Murray and Carl Hardy are closing in on them behind as well. Once again, look at the commitment. It's brilliant to watch them go through there. Running wide on the AstroTurf slightly. Cherney got a great run through there into the left-hander, and he's got it through. Is he going to make it stick though? This part of the track is so formidable for cutbacks because there's so many different lines you can take. Some people go for a late apex to get the run on the exit of the corner, and other people get it turned in early to make sure that they defend that inside line. But yeah, Cherney doing a great job there now, and he's starting to get away. He's got the favoured line through all those corners. Perkis now needs to be careful to hold on to this AM podium. Jeroen Ursema's not got it easy at the front of the AM category though. He's still under pressure from these pro drivers. That is Luke Cooper going through to 6th place. Bit of trivia for you. Luke Cooper was running the number 6 last season, but his teammate Cherney now runs it, and he is now running the number 35 that Jason Cooper ran last season before he was number 1. You can tell I do the numbers for this series, can't you?
Yeah.
Just as that's oh, who was that in the background there? Oh, I think Max Wright is out there actually. I thought he had a slow down there over to the left hand side, but he's just sort of making it clear that he is slowing down for people to lap him. But fair play for him to carrying on. It's very easy to get frustrated and stop. Someone that also carried on is Cesare Rizzo, trying to get past Scott Malcolm there side by side as they go down the straight at the moment.
I think he's actually just sort of conceding again because his car's damaged, isn't it? So he's just out there making sure he scores points. Yeah, Stuart Dick goes through as well. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, don't forget, of course, anyone that is watching that hasn't witnessed the reverse grid wheel yet, the reverse grids for each of these races is determined by a wheel of fortune that Alex has a lot of pleasure from spinning, with some wonderful old British games music. And wow, commitment is the word I've been using for that corner, and Carl Hardy's just shown us the very definition of it in that bright green result clothing car. He's going to go for the move on Alex Perkis, and he gets it done. That was fantastically done. Adam McNally's going to try and take advantage of this as well. But that was brilliant by Carl Hardy. Really sent it. Got the good old man fruit out, and off he went. That was awesome to watch. McNally now going to try and take advantage as well. Here is his teammate Jack Ashton, 2nd place at the moment.
You slowly catching. That's Plowman giving it everything actually there, isn't it?
Yeah.
The background.
Going
So the final lap. Ashton was catching up Beard ever so slightly, but yeah, just suddenly Beard just stepped it up to another level. 145.8 and then a 146.3, so almost half a second gained. But it was Plowman that was quick, 45.9. So yeah, this is on for 2nd place.
Yeah, Jack Ashton's not got it easy here. Just going to say a moment ago, Lorne Murray is dropping down the order. I think he's been disqualified. I was just going to say that anyone that's on either 1 lap down or less is eligible for the reverse grid. So you'll be seeing the likes of Max Wright and of course Cesare Rizzo carrying on for the sake of maybe getting lucky on the reverse grid. You have to take those chances. But these boys now spreading out a little bit. I think it might have just been a mistake or two by Ashton, maybe pushing a bit too hard over that last lap, and obviously Plowman was pushing hard as well, but he managed to gain from it. We've got the ominous Jason Cooper behind them, and James McRitchie, he's done well as well in this race, 20 places gained. Just to look at the top 6, Alex, 11, 15, 10, 15, 20 and 21. They're the positions gained by these boys. It's been an amazing drive by all 6 of them. And then you've got Adam Delmont, 9th, 33 places gained. That's just unbelievable. You've got to give him a shout out for that. It's awesome stuff. But here is your current race leader and potential race winner. Only a couple of corners to go unless the commentator's curse strikes like lightning from the sky. Ashley Beard. Alex said early on he was going to be the pick for this one. He comes into the final corner. One more time. Clips the apex. Gets on the gas, and Ashley Beard is your race 3 winner for Excite iRacing. Fantastic drive by Ashley there. And Jack Ashton, 2nd place as well, just behind his teammate Jason Cooper, really caught on that last lap there to Plowman. But Martin Plowman, 3rd place, he'll be very happy with that podium for Fury Sim Sports as well. Great to see, with James McRitchie in 5th, Luke Cooper in 6th. Great result for him tonight, because I think he was disqualified from qualifying, so he's managed to make his way back up. And rounding out your top 10 there is Cherney, with the likes of Delmont, 33 places gained. Like I said, that's just what a drive as the battles continue. Oh, that was close between Cullinan and Rob Graham. Through the final corner, Rob Graham just beats him over the line there. That was Brian Holmes as well, going slowly in 20th place. Not sure whether he ran out of fuel at the end as well. We saw it in race 2. No reason it couldn't happen again here. David Ayres giving it everything out the final corner. Ends up in 28th place. Battling Joe McDonald, Steve Cooley and Scott Malcolm ahead as well. Well, this just shows, Alex, just how sort of thorough this whole field is for battling. No matter where you look, there's always scraps going on. There's always people of the same sort of levels of talent. There is a big spread throughout the whole field in terms of people's pace, but there are always, I mean, as with a lot of stuff that you see on iRacing, there's always someone around the same pace as you that you can get involved in really good battles with when you get to know how they drive.
I think that's just the beauty of kind of like the series that we do with these reverse grids. There's always good racing to be had, no matter your level, as long as you learn sort of who you can drive with. You know, who's going to give you a little bit of space, who's going to be very, very aggressive and things like that. And yeah, we see that week in, week out with the pros and the AMs mixing it up in the reverse races. It's always fun to watch. Still waiting for someone to crawl around. I'm not sure who it is. It might have been Hefford, actually.
Yeah, I think it might have been Hefford,
yeah. Here we go, then.
There you go. So it's an Excite iRacing 1-2 for Ashley Beard and Jack Ashton. Martin Plowman rounds out your podium. Great drive from him. Jason Cooper, James McRitchie and Luke Cooper. Also fantastic efforts from them. Jeroen Ursum wins the AM category in that race. He'll be very happy with that. Dave Hampson finishes 8th and Adam Delmont finishes 9th after gaining 33 positions. Massive, massive effort from Adam there. Alex Cherney rounds out your top 10. Josh Rayfield, 2nd in AM. He'll be very happy with that as well for Northern Lights Racing. Adam McNally in 12th. Carl Hardy rounds out your podium in the AM category ahead of Alex Perkis in 14th. Jamie Ayres is 15th. Craig Cameron 16th. Another top 20 for Nick McCarran and Kip Stevens. So vital points for them in the championship as well. They round out 17th and 18th position. 19th is Alex Rivette. Good to see him back up there as well. With Brian Holmes 20th, Rob Graham, Ralph Cullinan, Michael Wortman, Stuart Dick, Scott Malcolm and Steve Cooley is 26th. Joe McDonald 27th with David Ayres. Cesare Rizzo, who did actually finish on the lead lap as well, so fair play to him despite that damage. Liam Silkstone rounds out your top 30. Steve Hefford 31st, and the cars one lap down or more are Max Wright, Lorne Murray, Craig Jones, real shame for Craig actually after he was leading so much of that race, Mick Barry 35th, Andy Maxwell in 36th, shame to see Andy didn't quite finish that one either, Pete Van Gool, Anthony Ainsworth, Mikey Key, Dale Bennison, Tyler Lugo Vickery, no luck again for him, and Billy Rose did not take the start after issues with his PC earlier on. So that will mean then, for the third and final time tonight, Alex Simpson will have the wonderful reverse grid wheel for you all.
Can we get the third and final time to be 25th again? Who knows? The spin, we'll find out.
Jeroen Ursum has guessed 15 on this one.
It's not going to make it back round to 15. You'd think this is rigged. Almost getting back there, but it's not quite made it to 25th. It's close, but it ended up on 50th.
Okay, so we'll get a full, which will mean anyone that was one lap down or less will be eligible. And Max Wright will be on pole position. So it just goes to show after that damage, he went back out there, even though he was one lap down. He's now got pole position for the next race. Alongside him, though, chance to redeem himself is going to be Steve Hefford with Liam Silkstone, who needs the extra bit of luck tonight. He's not had a great round so far, so he'll be hoping to turn that around from third on the grid. Then it's Cesare Rizzo, another bit of proof why you carry on when you've got that damage, I suppose, Alex. He's fourth, and David Ayres fifth, so it should be a strong fourth and final race, shouldn't it?
I'm looking forward to seeing what it's going to turn out like. I tell you, I think, it'd be good to see Rizzo get a good result. He's not having much luck either, Hefford. A few drivers out there not having much luck, so hopefully race number 4 it can happen.
Yeah, it's the bad luck club that's going to be at the front of the grid. So, if you join me and Alex in about 10-15 minutes' time on the iRacing Esports Network, of course, we'll bring you the fourth and final race of the night. And it's going to be under lights as well, so it's going to be even more chaotic. So, see you in a bit. Don't go away. Welcome back to the iRacing Esports Network and the BSR MX5 Pro Series for the fourth and final race of the evening from Circuit of the Americas, round 8 of the championship. Chaz Draycott here with Alex Simpson in the booth with me on the cameras as well. And we're just about to round up what's been a brilliant night of racing so far, Alex. No real massive incidents, the odd knocks here and there, but it's to be expected of the different racing lines that we've seen through all the corners.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think drivers have to get used to this circuit. It's very unique. Not many people will have raced it before. So, but yeah, for the most part, been some great racing out there. I love COTA. Just emphasises all the different lines you can take around it. Those few sort of high shots that we've seen, been great tonight. Yeah, race number 4 can get a bit messy, can't it? Sometimes that's kind of like the history of the series. So let's not shy away from it at all. But usually have some good racing mixed in there as well. So let's hope for a really good one.
And I'm really hoping for a Steve Hefford win here for SimLab. It'll be great to see Steve back on the top step again. I think he had a win earlier in the season, but there's your grid very quickly. Max Wright, Steve Hefford, Liam Silkstone, Cesare Rizzo, what we're calling the Bad Luck Club at the moment. They've not had a great meeting, any of them. David Ayres, Joe McDonald, Steve Cooley, Scott Malcolm, Stuart Dick and Michael Wortman. And the revs are rising, the lights are coming on. And for the fourth and final time tonight with a very brightly coloured grid. Wasn't very straight there, was it? Actually, to be fair,
No,
Max Wright leads them. Max Wright leads them away from the grid. Then Steve Hefford comes over to the left. He's got his teammate Cesare Rizzo there coming over to support him as well. And then you've got Liam Silkstone who's going to go down the inside of the pair of them. He gives it the full commitment. Steve really trying to push to get past Max Wright here. Just having a quick look, see if anyone's dropping down the order. I think Pete Van Gool is going down the order. Steve Hefford into the lead then through turn 2. And he needs to just stick with it now and run with it. We saw him make a couple of mistakes earlier on in the evening. I think he got into contact actually with Max Wright as well. So he'll be hoping to avoid that front bumper. Rizzo runs wide there. He's going to come under attack from Stuart Dick now. Great manoeuvre by Stuart. Yeah, there was a car rolling. I think it was it one of the Excite cars? No, it was, who was that?
I think it was Wortman. I'm trying to click on him, but he's slipping down the timing order so fast.
Good luck doing that. At the speed that it just went down the timing screen on my right-hand side, I couldn't even blink fast enough. But, yeah, real shame for Wortman there. It didn't go completely over. I think he might have hit the curb. He's done that more than once tonight. Oh, he just gets over there. Rob Graham on his right.
He gets turned and hits the curb. Yeah, you're right. Didn't quite flip all the way. It was close.
Yeah, I hope he wasn't in VR though, because no matter what, it does trick your brain into thinking, oh god, this is going to hurt. As we see Rizzo now chasing down Stuart Dick in the asymmetric car. They've been doing a good job as well, asymmetric, since they came in. James McRitchie was the sort of the first one to probe the series and see how it is, and he's brought a couple of other drivers in there as well. Abdulkir Al Amri is not here either tonight, but he's usually a quick one to watch. You can see that there are the different lines. Stuart goes quite deep onto the inside, and then Rizzo gets a bit of a later apex and gets a run off the corner. You can see Scott Malcolm at the bottom of your screen there, pushing Silkstone for second in the AM category, nearly 4 or 5 wide further down the hill as well. Some of the year 1 racing cars in there as well. Rizzo all over the back of Stuart Dick here. This is a great scrap between these pair. As you can see, Wright and Hefford in front of them. And it's gradually going to get darker and darker here, Alex. It's started not quite night time. Steve Cooley's dropping down the order. There he is on the left. Don't know how he got out there. He might have been turned under contact or something. Kip Stevens here with Adam McNally. They're side by side through the S's. They're braver than I am. Oh, McNally really up on 2 wheels there. Completely gets the car in the air. And luckily it doesn't bounce too much on the way back down and he's able to control it. But a great snake of cars making their way through. Oh, contact with Stevens, and is that Rivette? He's around in front of the field. He gets hit by Cherney. There's Ralph Cullinan in the wall as well. Somehow it wasn't a bigger incident, but I think the two orange highlighted cars just got attracted to each other there by the colours. And off they go. McNally and Stevens still side by side though, as we get away from this shot. Jeroen Ursum did say in the YouTube chat beforehand, this will be crazy, and it already is, Alex. We've only done 2 laps and we've nearly got a hernia.
Yeah, fantastic. This is what we were saying earlier on in the race. You can go side by side through pretty much the whole track because the track just lends that to that kind of racing. A bit like Interlagos, where just constantly switching back and forth with who has the high ground. But Stevens comes out on top of that one.
Adam McNally will not take it lying down though. He's going to be fighting tooth and nail for that position. side by side in the background there. I think that's Ayres and possibly Cameron. Or Ayres and Plowman, sorry. It is Ayres and Plowman. You can just see them on the bottom of the screen there. Plowman in the grey and black car, the Fury Sim Sport car. Jamie Ayres in the black and red SimLab car. Really does look pretty as they go away from us there and up the hill. That's a fantastic shot up into turn 1. McNally down the inside of Stevens then. They're both catching Graham and Malcolm here. McNally's made the move. Now he's got Rob Graham in front of him. He's going to go down the inside of Rob Graham. Side by side they go through the S's. Doesn't quite make it stick. Kip Stevens is going to try and make any sort of opportunity of this that he can. Scott Malcolm will be loving this because he wants to have less pressure on him from Rob Graham behind, but Rob's had a great sector there. Look at the commitment, pushing Scott Malcolm on the exits. Oh, Silkstone's run wide and gone slow. Someone in the background there, I think that was Plowman, completely out of shape. Nearly 4 wide. Look at that through the middle. Rob Graham really trying it on here to get through and past Scott Malcolm. Adam McNally involved as well. Silkstone's a moving chicane at the moment. I know he's not been in the championship a massive amount, so he's just going to be testing the waters here to make sure that he doesn't get involved in any incidents. Right on the back of Stevens now as well on the brakes. I think he just got hit from behind by Cherney. Oh, his contact with Delmont. Delmont saves it. He's gone off wide with Plowman there. They're checking out different bits of the track no one's seen before. Nearly 4 wide as they go into what you call Turkey Turn 8, Alex. That's going to be focusing. It's hard to do on your own.
Yeah, somehow they managed to all survive. I'm not really sure how, but they did. So, yeah, great job. Guys, this pack is crazy. They don't know where to click right now, to be fair. Who to focus on. Graham dropping down behind Kip Stevens. Gone from being really pushing forward to losing a couple of places really quickly as Graham.
Yeah, it's look at the train of cars that we've got going on. That's brilliant. You never know where the next attack's going to come from, though, in this championship, really. You can... Oh, Stevens! Rob Graham down the inside, really forcing him to use all the track there. If anyone's raced against Rob before, you know that he's not shy, is Rob Graham, when you're racing against him. He certainly does defend, and he likes to get his elbows out. No one is... no sort of driver is too much of a challenge for Rob Graham. He'll give a good scrap with anybody. Third in the AM category at the moment. Max Wright doing a good job. Second overall, leading the AM category. And that's a fantastic shot there of all the cars snaking their way through the left and right section. Silkstone giving it everything over those curves. I'm not sure whether he got a slowdown through that or not, but really, really committed. As we see Rob Graham then. Oh, just behind Cherney, down the inside. Silkstone runs wide on the brakes. Comes back on, and it's another couple of places lost, unfortunately. Still fourth in the AM category, though. 13th overall, so he's not dropping like a stone, you could say. But he's still doing it. Still doing everything he needs to. Just needs to be a bit more smooth, like silk, maybe. There's your race leader, Steve Hefford. Thank you, Alex. That was very, very well timed diversion. Max Wright still not far behind, though. He's not dropped off, really. You've got Stuart Dick and Cesare Rizzo still scrapping away as well. So it's not like this race at the front is completely determined yet. They're still scrapping away for whatever they can get. But then there's a big gap back to Adam McNally, who has just flashed up red on the timing tower on the left. That's probably because he ran wide at the last corner. And Am is the question from Demonic Gaming UK. I'm assuming... oh, yes. It's in response to someone else. There is an AM Championship associated with this championship on Monday nights. It's a separate series, essentially, just for the AM boys to have their fun without the pros coming through. They have made it into a separate championship as well. It is going very well. It's the Monday... I think it's the BSR MX5 Monday Cup. But this is the full-blown, full-on throughout the year pro series that they do. Great championship, though, really, isn't it, Alex? It's truly evolved over the last few seasons, and it's done a great job.
Again, it started life as just a little fun thing, you know, to do almost as a feeder to BSR TC, and yeah, now it's its own fully fledged thing. And actually, I have to say, this season, as around goes Rob Graham. So good battling so long, and then just gets a little bit hot through there, and around it came. But yeah, so it's it just stands on its own 2 feet now, and I think this season they've actually got more people running this than they have BSR TC, so it just goes to show how popular it's getting.
Yeah, definitely. And at the end of the day, it's a car that at some point everyone has driven on iRacing, unless you're American and love your ovals too much. But a lot of the time, people do start out in this machine, and it's a real good left to drive, to be honest. I mean, I don't tend to do a lot of official iRacing races, but over the last sort of couple of weeks, I've tried my hand at a few of them. Did the Advanced MX5 Cup, done the Production Cup, and the Rookie MX5s as well. And you can have a real amount of fun in this car. You can chuck it about, get it sideways here and there, and it's easy to save. It's a lovely feeling car to drive. You can feel where the grip is. You can feel when it's on the limit, and you can save those little slides that you get. As you can see, a lot of them getting it out that final corner there. Hampson at the bottom of your screen was one to get it. Hampson, to be fair, Alex, he's not really lit up our world that much since joining the pro category and joining SimLab. I mean, we knew that he was going to the team to replace Jack McIntyre, who left at the end of last time round. But he's always, speaking of, there's his teammate around, that is Jamie Ayres. I'm pretty sure that a spin in that smaller radius was helped by contact, but I was just going to say Hampson's not really set the world on fire. That's the phrase I was looking for. Since joining SimLab, but hopefully he can... I think it's just getting used to how different teams run the car, I suppose. Here is Jamie Ayres. Who's that down the inside? Oh, McRitchie just doesn't get it stopped in time, unfortunately. I think that there was a bit of a check-up in front, though, so that probably contributed. Jamie doing the sensible thing there and staying out of the way. Oh, Van Gool! Oh. Van Gool goes around and he gets contact of Craig Jones as well. It's always Peter Van Gool.
There's nothing really that could do there as well. You just got to sit there, Jamie, and let the traffic go. And I think in the end he just pulled it up, didn't he? Get it out of the way. Jump back to the pits, but yeah.
Just doing the sensible thing, staying out of the way, but I can't believe, out of all people as well, Peter Van Gool, bless him. He's so unlucky at the moment. I mean, I don't mean to keep repeating it and make it the spotlight for him, but I'm sure he'll prefer the sympathy than me taking the mick out of him. At the moment, then, we see Hampson 13th. He's doing a sterling job, obviously. And Stuart Dick and Cesare Rizzo are having a right little ding-dong for that podium place. We've got a fan of Excite in the YouTube chat. Hope you're enjoying it, Mike. It's just round, just underneath the this battle there. We can see. I think that was Cameron and Cherney swapping places. Look at these boys trying to get any bit of slipstream they can get as they go up the hill. All switching lines, left and right, side by side into turn one. Oh, Stevens runs wide. That's Delmont in 6th place. A lot of these guys, Alex, from about 6th down to 14th, have gained like between 12 and 22 positions in this race so far. So this is the group of the guys that have really pushed forward. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen there the gains and losses by the drivers over the course of the race. Stuart Dick has now overtaken Max Wright for 2nd place in the race overall. There they are. Cesare Rizzo, the only guy in the top 20 in the whole race, actually, other than Pete Van Gool after his spin. That is currently where they started. And that tends to be the other theme with this championship, isn't it, really? You don't tend to see people finish where they start.
Very rarely, yeah, very rarely. And here's this move then. And yeah, just a good exit onto that little back straight, as we saw like Cherney do many a time, and they were able to carry the momentum then into the 90-degree sort of hairpin dial corner there. That would normally be the back of the long straight. So yeah, good solid move from Stuart. Don't think you can do anything about Steve Hefford in the last 3 laps, as Hefford some 3.4 seconds to the good.
Yeah, he'll be loving it up there. He'll be happy with this. And I mean, I'm happy to see him up there, to be honest. He's a great bloke, Steve. And he's a very quick driver, but like I say, he just gets so unlucky in some of these races, especially with the reverse grids as well. So it'll be good to see him get a good result from it tonight. Only a couple more laps to go. But this race again has been one that's seemingly gone on forever, but not that we're complaining. It's fantastic racing up and down the order. Look at this lot. Absolutely fantastic. You can see how far they're separated on the left-hand side. A lot of them do personal bests, even though they're fighting like this as well. That's Plowman down the inside of Stevens. Then you've got Beard in there as well. McRitchie and Ashton side by side out of turn 1. Ashley Beard in the Excite car with the red roll cage. Ashton with the purple roll cage. A bit difficult to tell them apart from the front, to be honest with you. With the headlights ablaze. Through the S's. I love that shot. Brilliant shot. That just shows how well the lighting works on iRacing as well. and how little you can see when the cars aren't lined up the track as well. You've got to be so on it through there and make sure that you're really focused on hitting your apexes. Brake discs glowing as well. I know he's come back to the same thing you said a while ago, Alex, that these liveries really do pop at night. They're very, very vivid and bright, and especially when they're lit up from cars behind, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how they get it to do that, but I have to say that's kind of like any sort of photo shoot you should want to do with a car in a livery should always be done at night. I think it just looks so much better at night.
Yeah, it really just gets all the highlights and everything out of it, and obviously you cast a shadow down the side of the cars. It just sort of amplifies the arches a little bit, as you can see from behind them there. It does look really, really good. And one thing that iRacing have improved on since they brought in the whole day-night cycle is that the fact that cars from the front, when there's lights behind them, are pretty much silhouettes now. A lot of the time well, even just going back, say, 6 months or a year ago, the cars did tend to glow in the dark pretty much if they weren't lit up. But yeah, it's much better now, and it just gets more and more realistic every time they do an update with stuff like that, and it does get better every time. Obviously that's the aim of it, but you know what I mean. They do a big step forward each time. It's a shame. I mean, you see a lot of people complain about how long it takes iRacing to do these things, but we know that it takes time because they get it so right. And it's the same with the cars and tracks as well. They get it so right compared to a lot of other sims. And this is, well, the broadcasts that we can bring you all are proof of this. At the end of the day, I mean, I've seen people mistake this for real racing sometimes, so just goes to show how good it is. This battle between these guys is still not over. Constant position swapping. And there is the famous battle box. Two Excite cars though, Beard and Ashton, breaking away a little bit from Stevens. Hampson running out a bit wide there as well. And that was McRitchie doing the same, just behind Cherney. Down the inside, there goes Hampson on Stevens. Brake disc glowing in the dark. Side by side now, Cherney's going to want to take advantage of this as well. But once again, these different lines. Look at the momentum that Hampson can carry around there in comparison. Is he going to be able to get his nose down the inside for this hairpin? He is. Keeps a nice tight line on there. Bit later on the brakes. Stevens turns in. Oh, nearly contact, but now there's momentum. Now the momentum, sorry, is with Stevens, and he's on the inside. As we see Steve Hefford coming around the final corner.
One more lap to go. Yeah, I thought that was final lap for a minute, so I
was going to say I did that.
I jumped away.
He does a personal best as well, 1:47.0, personal best from Stuart Dick as well. Brilliant stuff. Cherney all over the back of Hampson now. Didn't quite get that move done on Stevens, but look how close they are. They're still trying. One more lap to go. Not even 2 minutes of the race to go. Fastest lap of the race is by Jason Cooper. He's gained 23 places, 6th overall. These guys are all over the shop coming out the last corner. I'll tell you what, it's a good thing that the MX5 doesn't have a flashlights button, otherwise it would be going mental right now, and we would get probably, well, I don't know about your PC, but might have probably getting about 10 frames per second. Up into turn 1 then. Hampson ahead of Cherney. Stevens has dropped down behind McRitchie as well. He keeps the tight line though. Tries to get the run on exit, but Hampson looks like he's got it pretty sorted now on this one, Alex, but you can never be too sure with how sort of contrasting this track is to most others that have raced at.
Yeah, I agree. Needs to have a good couple of sectors, it should be okay. But battle for sort of 2nd, 3rd and 4th still very much on. But Max Wright, Stuart Dickens, Cesaro Rizzo, they're going to need to start putting some serious pressure in these last couple of sectors if they're going to make a move. And actually, look at Rizzo taking a very, very wide line, trying to get a good exit through here. And actually, in the end, just gets it all wrong. Gets a little loose and loses the momentum. I think that's his opportunity. Maybe Max Wright can take a little surprise lunge on Stuart Dick here and get 2nd overall as well as winning the AM class. But where is our race leader? Because he is coming around final corner for the final time.
Yeah, great effort there by Steve Hefford. Wonderful to see. Back on the top set once again for SimLab. Brilliant drive. Stuart Dick and Max Wright having a proper scrap. Oh, it's three wide across the line. Stuart Dick does finish 2nd. He does a personal best as well. Max Wright 3rd. Rizzo 4th. What a great scrap that must have been at the end. We'll probably have to get a replay back of that. McNally finishes 5th. He'll be happy with that after a tough evening so far. Here is Cherney and Hampson across the line. Hampson just beating him there. Behind them is McRitchie, then Craig Cameron. Brilliant for Craig tonight. I was told that it's his first outing for Northern Lights Racing tonight in the BSR MX5 Pro Series. and I think that's the second place that he's had tonight. So we'll hopefully get him in for an interview. I'd like to speak to him and see how he found it. But here we go then. Stuart Dick is ahead of Max Wright here, going into the second to last. Rizzo gets a great run as well. Look at it, just naturally bunching up. He goes defensive straight away. Max Wright down the inside. Oh, that's really good not to make contact, but Rizzo makes a really, really good run on exit, and he nearly gets there as well. Look how close they were of the line. If they went to the normal finish line further down the straight, I think Rizzo might. I don't know if he might have done it there, but that was very, very close stuff, and very respectful as well. While Max Wright did completely send it down the inside, he didn't make contact with him, and it was good avoidance as well from Stuart Dick to give him the space and keep it a clean battle. But that little moment that you see there, that's part of the reason we love this series, really, isn't it, Alex? It's just great racing from everybody.
Final lap of final race of the night, and almost the man who wasn't involved in it that I writ off in that battle almost gets it. So yeah, I think actually Rizzo just had to kind of check up a fraction so he didn't hit them. Had he not had that, I think he just been foot to the floor, he would have definitely have got both of them, which would have been an absolutely epic move. But yeah, good final race, and got the results.
Thank you very much, Alex. Steve Hefford then wins the race. I'm very happy with that result. I'm pretty sure a lot of other people will be as well. Stuart Dick finishes second. That's great for asymmetric, with Max Wright winning the AM category and getting a podium overall. Very well done to him. Cesario Rizzo fourth. So it was good to see those boys having a good fight at the end as well. Adam McNally fifth. Again, he'll be happy with that. Jason Cooper, another strong result in sixth. Adam Delmont in seventh. He gained 17 places in that one as well. So he's been probably my driver of the night, to be fair. Adam Delmont has done a great job. His teammates Ashley Beard and Jack Ashton, entertaining as always, 8th and 9th. Martin Plowman in 10th. Dave Hampson 11th, with Alex Cherney 12th. James McRitchie in 13th. Craig Cameron 2nd in AM, 14th place. Really, really well done to him. Kip Stevens 15th. Michael Wortman 16th. Then he rounds out the AM podium. Josh Rayfield just missing out on that in 17th, with Mick Barry in 18th position. He's followed by Andy Maxwell, Carl Hardy, Anthony Ainsworth, David Ayres, Joe McDonald, Alex Perkis, and Nick McCarron finishes 25th. Dale Bennison is 26th, Mikey Key 27th, and Jeroen Erzum is 28th. And the cars one lap down or more are Steve Cooley, Alex Rivette, Craig Jones, Luke Cooper, Liam Silkstone, Rob Graham, Scott Malcolm, Jamie Ayres in 36th. Then you've got Peter Van Gool, Billy Rose, Ralph Cullinan, Lorne Murray, and Brian Holmes. And a fantastic night of racing at, once again, Alex, as we said, a very unorthodox circuit. And it's good to see that such tracks do work for these guys so well. I mean, there's been a lot of circuits of different kinds that we've had, some with long straights where people are all slipstreaming each other, and other sort of technical, what we call driver circuits, where overtaking might not be as rife, but the racing is just as hard. And we see it everywhere we go. I mean, everyone gets sick of us saying it, but the actual driving has been really good tonight.
Yep. Yeah, it's been great. So I can't really spot anything too shocking out there, other than sort of first lap sort of incidents and things like that. I'm sure there'll be plenty of protests. But yeah, it's been a good one.
As we certainly do. Just trying to find... In the meantime, I've been communicating with a Mr. James Underhill from Northern Lights Racing. He's trying to get Craig Cameron in for an interview. I need to try and invite Mr. Cameron to the correct Discord so he can get in the room, but can't find him. What we'll do in the meantime, he's a regular in the booth. Mr. Adam McNally joins us for an interview. Adam, you got a 5th place there in the end. I'm sure you'll be happy with that. It was a tough night otherwise, wasn't it?
Yeah, really tough night. We're qualifying banned 2 pit lane starts, but we made the most out of it. Decent points in all 4 races, so we can't really complain too much.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a bit of a crazy one, because I mean, I was just saying a moment ago that despite the track being so unorthodox for this series, the racing was still good, and it seemed like quite a nice flowing track for the cars to go around. How did you find it overall?
Yeah, we usually find that actually the unorthodox tracks usually make for good racing in this car, as we found out at a few different tracks. But coming into it, I was a bit worried because I didn't know the track full stop and didn't have no pace. The one practice session I done was dark, but then the day I had some pace, but got to that I couldn't qualify or nothing. I think I could have got some more points, but we got a win for the team. We got 2 podiums with Jack twice. I think he got 2nd. and some decent points for the team. So that's all that matters, really.
Yeah, it's all about the consistency at the end of the day, isn't it? To make sure that you guys score. Obviously, like I say, Ashley Beard getting a win. Sure, he was happy with that. Well, you're getting a win a week now, at least, aren't you guys?
Well, that's what we're aiming for. Just consistently get a win or two. We know we're up against it with the COTA lads. Jason was on fire tonight. I mean, like, proper on fire tonight. I think he's definitely got to be top driver tonight.
Yeah, that race one was unbelievable, wasn't it? Me and Alex were saying he just drove off, and even in qualifying as well, he was like 0.4 of a second quicker than anyone.
Yeah.
It was champion's pace.
It just makes it even worse. So that cost the team 300 points last week. So, especially when it's such a tough competition against the Swift COTA lads and the SimLab lads. So points you can't really afford to drop them, but I suppose we've just got to keep marching on, try and catch back up.
Yeah, definitely. But it's bound to be an exciting battle. I mean, me and Alex were saying at the top of the broadcast that it's very much the three teams. You guys, Swift Cooper Esports, and SimLab as well. And it's great to have that sort of titanic battle. But also, we've noticed some of the other teams coming through, such as Year One and Asymmetric. What do you think of those guys and their progress? Have you come across them on track that much?
Yeah, well, as usual, people join the league. You can see the pace getting there. Like, Result lads, their pace from last season's unbelievable. They really worked hard at it. So, like I said, just makes for the grids even harder to pass. Makes the racing great. No matter what position you're in, there's always someone to battle. Like, it's only be a good thing for the league, really.
Yeah, definitely, and it's nice to see new faces coming in and having good scraps with some of the veterans of the championship as well. So it's good to see you boys getting the results, Adam. And of course, we'll hopefully speak to you next week where we get to the same point in broadcast where every week Chaz doesn't know the track that's coming up.
Okayama, I've already looked.
Oh well, Okayama on Japanese tarmac in these little machines should be a right lot of fun. Are you confident going there?
Good track. Should make for some fast-paced racing. Hopefully we start turning it around, clawing some of them points back.
Indeed. Well, there's be good slipstreaming down that back straight as well, so hopefully we'll speak to you again after that one, buddy. But before we let you go, is there anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
I'll just get the list out, but yeah, you guys for the broadcast, everyone who does all the work behind the scenes, to Excite Energy being our main sponsor, LuxSim24, Motorsport Days Live, Premature Baby Foundation, Racing Mentor, and also we have ER12 Gaming, who just recently joined us as well, so big shout out to them as well.
Cracking stuff as always, Adam. Good to speak to you, buddy, and we wish you all the best for next week.
Right, thank you very much.
Adam McNally there of Excite Energy iRacing. Don't forget to check them out on their Facebook as well. And of course, don't forget to check out Apex Racing TV on our own YouTube channel and Facebook as well. Get a cheeky plug in there as well. We will bring in Mr. Craig Cameron from Northern Lights Racing. It was his first night out in the BSR MX5 Pro Series tonight. Craig, how did you find that one for a baptism of fire?
Oh, it was great fun. I've been here before, like 2 seasons ago, but it was great to get back in it.
And obviously with Northern Lights Racing backing as well, how have they done with sort of trying to shoehorn you into the championship as such?
Well, it was my choice. I was kind of missing league racing, so
Just thought you'd get straight back hands-on with it, and what a championship to jump into. How did you find the overall behaviour on track tonight? Was it what you expected?
it was pretty clean from what I saw. There was a few bumps, but that's to be expected in MX5s, I think.
Yeah, Rubbin's racing at the end of the day, that's what everyone says, isn't it?
Yeah.
And did you expect a track like this to work so well with the MX5? I mean, the sort of topic of the broadcast has been the fact that it is a very unorthodox track, but we've seen it work quite well. Did you have the same sort of feeling towards it?
I felt it was very difficult to pass. Everyone sort of seemed to be about the same speed.
That's what we hope for sometimes, I suppose, with these, isn't it? I mean, we always say that a lot of the tracks that we go to tend to rely on slipstreaming quite a lot, and it is a big sort of playing field leveller. But with tracks like this, like you say, it can be difficult to pass, but it's all about those opportunities. We go to Okayama next week. which for some people it's a track that they quite often drive on iRacing. Is it a track that you're confident at?
I'm okay around most of it. It's just the middle sector is a bit tricky, but I'm sure with some practice I'll get better.
Yeah, that's what it's about in these leagues, isn't it? Just making sure that you get the practice in. Some of these boys are absolutely rapid in this car. I don't know how they do it, so I'm glad it's not me out there on track, to be honest. But it looks like you lot have a good amount of fun.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're getting those quali counts. Must have speed boosters or something.
Well, yeah, we were saying about how Jason Cooper was so fast at the top of the broadcast. He was like 4/10 ahead of second place. It's incredible, but hopefully the deficits get smaller for you, buddy, and we wish you the best of luck for next week.
Thank you, thanks.
Is there anyone you want to give a quick shout out to before you go?
I'd like to thank my teammates, Billy, Alex, and Josh, and James was also in the chat. So thanks to all them. I'd like to thank our sponsors, GT Omega, for helping us enter these competitions. It's great that they're backing us.
Cracking stuff, mate. Well, hopefully we will speak to you again soon after another round. But it's great to see the Northern Lights name out there as well, and you and the boys are doing it proud. So well done for tonight. Oh yeah, definitely. I think it was Billy Rose single-handedly doing it for a bit, so it's good to see he's got some backup. But yeah, we'll hopefully speak to you next time round, Craig. Very well done tonight, mate.
Okay, thanks very much.
Craig Cameron there of Northern Lights Racing, and yeah, like I just say, Alex, it's good to see the Northern Lights boys getting a strong team out there. At points, I didn't even realise they had 4 cars on the track, but they got some pretty strong results. Really, they're a lot more consistent than they have been previously.
Yeah, I think it's nice to see almost a full team turn out for those guys. I think it makes a big difference, for so long there's been just sort of 1 or 2 cars, so yeah, seeing a few more on there is just going to make a difference. Just helps having extra eyes on the track, just feeding back in like Discord and things like that when incidents are going on, just to avoid it and stuff, so yeah, it's good.
Certainly is, and I've been friends with a lot of the Northern Lights boys for quite a while. Craig Evans, of course, James Underhill as well, good friend of mine. And yeah, it's nice to see that representation and the guys getting the results. So, well, to round it up then, mate, it's been another belter. Really, really good race in this series. We always say the same thing about it, but what else can you say? It is cracking, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's always good fun to watch. We really enjoy doing this for you, of course. Don't forget to check out Apex Racing TV as well. We do broadcast many other series over the course of a week, including the BSR TC Pro Series, and, well, many others, GT Leagues as well, of course. From myself and Alex, we hope you have enjoyed tonight's broadcast. We will be from Okayama, same time next week, hopefully joined by a Mr. Tom Jacobs. Get the dream team back in the booth. And, yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Have a fantastic evening, and we will see you next time.